Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite things tonight. One of them being a stone.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me.
Gotta mute.
I'm going to talk about some of my favorite.
Sorry about the echo. I keep forgetting to mute the YouTube side. Yeah. But I'm going to talk about some of my favorite things like Labradorite. It's a stone. It's a feldspar stone, and it's just beautiful and it's expensive. But I'm going to show you some shopping tips and a few places to get some if you're interested in it. It's just something of beauty to look at. I used an image on my thumbnail of the stone, and you can see the beauty in it. But first of all, I'm going to talk about some of my tools and what would I do if I bought a very expensive piece of labradorite. I'm going to turn on my cam and show you a little bit of what I'm doing, and I'm going to fix one of my tools. I'll just wait a minute. Let me check my cam settings. I always like to go on 720. Okay, I got it. So it's a little bit blurry here. Adjust my light. See if we can come in and get a little less blurry. But this is a vise. And what I'm going to do tonight is glue a little piece of leather inside this vise. And I've got some strips here. And what this leather is, if we look real close at it in the light, you can see little dots. And that's where the hair follicles were. This is pigskin leather. It's what footballs are made out of, so it's a very tough leather. And you can see the little dots in there. You can always tell pigskin if you take and you stretch it. You can see the hair. Let me get the light over here a little bit more. You can see the hair follicles in there. Try and get it in the light just right so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, if my camera will adjust. There we go. She's trying. She's trying. But you can, I think you've got the image good enough. You can tell that there are little dots in there. My camera don't want to behave right now. There we go. You can see that there's little dots where the hair follicles were. And it doesn't have a lot of stretch. But what I'm going to do is glue a couple of these strips inside of the vise so that when I put a stone in here, this doesn't, the insides, the metal doesn't scratch the wires that I'm using or the stone. When you pay a lot of money for a stone, you want to do your best to keep it in really good shape. Now on this pigskin, the belly part, you can, on the hide, the belly part is a little bit more stretchy. But if we go more towards the back side, there is no stretch in here. So I'm going to use the back side. See, it goes around the animal. This would be the belly. You can see how stretchy this is. Okay, I can stretch that out pretty thin. where the back side of the animal is the tougher of the hide, and there's no stretch in there. So I'm going to take some E6000 and I'm going to apply it inside of the vise. In fact, I'm going to open it up a little bit more and get my fingers in there working real well. This is a very cheap vise. It's not an expensive one. I think it was like $7. And that's all I needed was just this little cheap vise. It's kind of weighted. It's not real heavy. But it works for me for what I need it for. So let me just get a stick. And I'm going to put some of this E6000 on the stick and then smear it in the vise. This is a really good industrial glue. It's called E6000. It smells like vinegar. It's nasty smelling. So I'm just going to apply it inside here. Good coat on it. And this is just so I don't scratch my wire applications or mar or scratch some of the softer stones that I work with. I'm looking at investing in Labradorite. I love Labradorite. And when you spend a lot of money on a beautiful stone, you want to protect it. I'm just going to try and go up level the top. And I'm going to get a scissors. Just snip this off here. I'm going to leave a little overhang until this glue dries. All right. So that'll give this a little cushion and even a little grip when I put slippery things like finished cabs, cabochons, and stuff like that have, a smooth, shiny surface that would be slippery in that metal. This will give it some grip without ruining your piece. Just get this smeared inside here good. I also do this inside of pliers, needle nose pliers for jewelry, so I don't scratch the wire when I'm working with it. I've got some right here that have leather inside. See? And that way they don't scratch. All right, I need to go with the back side of the leather again. Press this again. And just snip it. There. now that I gave you guys that idea, I'm going to go around, do a screen share and go around on the internet and show you some of my favorite stones. Talk a little bit about Labradorite and the beauty of it. I could pinch this close, but you know, it really doesn't close tight. And this leather on there is going to help that close a lot tighter. But I don't want to squeeze the glue out, so I'm not going to pinch it real tight. This looks a little crooked. There. I'm going to put a stick in here. And then we're going to let that dry. It should be cured in 72 hours, fully cured. And it doesn't even want to pinch that stick tight way down at the bottom of the vise. This is a cheap vise, but I can make it work for me. So just want to see if the glue is coming through those holes where the hair follicles are. Sometimes your adhesives will do that with pigskin. But this E6000 being so thick, it really shouldn't. I know when I've used thinner glues, it has done that in the past. I'm just going to take and rig this up a little bit here. There we go. I'm not going to pinch it real tight, just enough to hold a little bit of firm pressure. That'll do. There we go. I'll let that cure. I got me some nice hot coffee here. Go and get your favorite beverage, kick back and relax, and let's go browse around the internet a little bit. I've got a lot of my tools laying out, some of my wire. I was working on a couple pieces, practicing the herringbone around beads. And this bead is called Dragon's Vein. It's got blue veins and a purple bead, and it's really pretty. This is one of the it's going to be a dream catcher necklace that I'm working on. So I'm practicing working with wire, and then I'm making little pieces that I'm going to incorporate, well, like this. And I have another piece I'm working on. Let me find it. I have to keep them put away because of my cat. And by the way, we've called that kitten, we've renamed her. Her name is Short Bus. But yeah, I'm working on wire wrapping. So this is one of the other pieces that I started, and I'm just getting some practice on some cheap homemade cabochons, and so that by the time I get my Labradorite piece that I've invested a lot of money on, I should have a lot more practice with wire wrapping. You know, because when you're gonna go with an expensive stone, and you'll see what I mean when I start doing a screen share. You'll see what I mean by expensive. You want to put it in a nice setting that's going to protect it. So let me do a screen share and let's go browse around. I'm kind of looking at the blue Labradorite. And first of all, show you some pictures on what it is. Here's Fire Mountain Gems. And this is a nice piece of Labradorite. It's $47. And you can see it looks like it's crazing. It has these cracks and veins going in there that are black. It looks like it's got a lot of crazing going on to it. Crazing is something that looks like it's all cracked up, like it's antique. It's still a very strong stone. And when you're looking, now the size is 40 millimeters by 30 millimeters. So the 40 millimeters is from top to bottom. And 40 millimeters is just a hair over an inch and a half. You can go and Google, just put like 40 millimeters to inches, and there you get an idea how big that is, just a little bit over an inch and a half. So that's another tidbit for you. When you're new to buying beads and working with these sizes and stuff like that. So on Etsy, they have, I think, a larger selection than Fire Mountain Gems. And let's just let's get into this a little bit more here on Fire Mountain Gems. They come in all different sizes, all different prices. And you got to think that when you're buying a natural stone, you're not always getting the same one that's in the photo. That's another thing. So the stones that I like are more of a natural organic shape, unless they're cut uniquely. Otherwise, I like the oval shaped cabochons. But here you can see Fire Mountain really doesn't have a very good selection. I mean, look at this one here. They're sold individually. And this one is 18 millimeters. It's round. It's $63. Let's look at this one. Let's see. All right, here's the hardness, the 6-6. I need to get more information on the hardness of stones before I actually comment on that. But you can see the lighter blue down towards the bottom. is, and the blue in there flashes. These stones flash when the light catches them just right. This one here, it advertises intense flashes of tropical blues, greens, yellows, and pinks against a neutral gray background. And here it talks about labradorite being a form of feldspar. And I guess there's different kinds of feldspars. This one is the spectralite. And it comes out of the Canadian Peninsula. Was first found in 1770. It's also been found in Mexico, Russia, and Finland. And they say that it comes from the aurora borealis with its shimmering lights of blue and green and luminous gray base. In the metaphysical world, labradorite is said to impart perseverance, rise consciousness, and strengthen intuition. So, let's go to Etsy. Okay, that was Fire Mountain Gems in stock selection. So let's go to Etsy now and see what's on Etsy. And look at these rainbow labradorites. I mean, look at this one. Oh my goodness. This one's a rare one. It's $106. I don't endorse any of these sellers. I'm just looking at the product. And this size here is so 96 millimeters. You can see it goes around from finger to finger across the fingers. So it's quite large. It's just gorgeous. It's beautiful. I've never seen one like this. Never seen one like that. Now, if I was to buy this stone for $106, I want to be able to put it in a perfect setting. A lot of people would take it to a jeweler's and have that set. But I want to do it myself. I want to make my own jewelry. So I just need to practice on wire wrapping. I think I suck at it. I've got the idea of it. I know what to do. I know the different wires, and I just don't think I'm perfect enough to wire wrap a beautiful stone like this. So I've been practicing and sort of gearing up for it. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. I'm not rushing into it. I'm just practicing a lot. And I'll tell you, I'm going to lose my fingernails. Everybody gives me compliments on the length of my nails, and that ain't going to last long, not working with wire. But here's a nice, beautiful stone, too. This one here, really pretty. I mean, that's just gorgeous. Very pretty. And I like when they put something next to the stone so you can kind of get an idea on the size of it. And here they even show on the fingers. So that's pretty. This is a really pretty stone. I like when they have gold with blue. And I've seen some like that. Let me go find it. I'm just going to go on Google and do another share. I seen one in here that was just, to me, it was like breathtaking. See, here's the blue with the golds, but I don't want heart shaped. Here's another one. This is looks like a phone case. And it's probably from an image. It's probably a print. Yeah, Society 6, that would be a print. There's different colors of Labradorite. Okay, so here's one. It's got the gold with the blue. That's what I'm looking for. I just think this is just one of the most beautiful stones I've ever seen. Here's what it looks like rough and raw. That's really pretty. You can see the flashes in it, the real bright light catchers of blue. And these look blue and goldish too. Really pretty. Here's another blue and goldish right here. Really nice. So what you do is you shop around. Oh, here's some nice crystal cuts. Oh, that's really nice. Really nice. This shop is called Luna Nordi. Shop around though and ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask your seller questions. Like, am I getting the exact stone that's in the picture? Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to check their feedback. Ask them how long to ship. Ask them if the stone is ready to ship. You know, a lot of people sell things that they never see. It's called drop shipping. And they're doing it for another company. So they're like a second handler, you know. They never see the stuff. They just put pictures of it up for sale, sell it, tell the shipper who to ship to, you know, and what the item is. And some of these sellers never even see the product. So don't be afraid to check out your seller and see if they're willing to work with you if there's any problems. This is another pretty one. It's got, you know, purple in there. That's pretty. But I'm not going for purple this time. I'm going for the blues. Here's another. This is a large slab. See, and that is the blue and gold. Really pretty stuff. So I like the Labradites. And I like the fire opals too. Now, when we're talking about feldspar, feldspar also is moonstone, amazonite, sunstone. So wherever you have large pockets of feldspar, which is pretty much pretty much all over the place. Check what stones are local to you. You know, even some of the quartz stones are beautiful. Let me bring up a picture of this quartz stone. Go back to share screen. Here, even this one's really pretty. That's a quartz crystal. See? Here's what they look like naturally. They use feldspar in a lot of applications, even adhesives. It's a mixture of. Let me go find it again. It's a mixture of potassium and here, let me go and look. See, here's all the different feldspars. So let's go look this up here. Okay. It contains sodium, calcium, potassium, and barium. Those are all the things inside of our cells. So you see how we connect with things from nature. And basically, that is why a lot of people think that rocks, minerals, crystals are spiritual, because they also are made of what we're made of. And all is one. And that's how they make these stones to be healing and spiritual in a way. So I just wanted to explain all that, show you what I'm doing with my vise. I'm glad I could be here tonight or early this morning and talk about this stuff. And thanks for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like, share, subscribe. I'll have some more videos coming up. God bless.